Good morning, world. It's Carpo from the back porch of my workplace. Um, it's like 7 in the morning and it's cold, so I'm gonna try to make this quick, but it never is it? It's like something that's been bugging me lately is like, what is freedom? And it's one of those words that people just kind of throw around whenever something's not going their way. Whenever they're feeling like they're being held back or restricted from doing what they want to do, it's considered impeding on one's freedom. So I asked myself, what exactly is freedom? I mean, we seem to think that freedom is the right to do whatever we want, and that's just not the case, in my opinion. And a lot of people would disagree with me. And whatever a free country entails, a lot would say that America is not a free country, even though we claim to be, and that there are freer countries out there. But when you really get down to the sticks and stones of it, it's just people pointing fingers saying we have a better way, we're freer, we have more rights. And I don't think that freedom should be the right to do whatever a person wants. I think that freedom is the right for a person to do what's right, and the right for a person to think what they want, and to become the kind of person that they want. But when it harms others, it becomes one of those situations that it gets very, very, I don't know, people get very touchy about it. If I have the right, if I go out and record a cassette tape, let's say, or a cassette tape, that's how it was in the old days, if you record the tapes or make copies of records, they put the little fine on there. Now, is that right or wrong? Who knows? People do it. There's little laws that we have that we work around because we figure, well, we should have the right to do this or do that. Same way we download movies today. So my thought is this: a person should be able to do whatever they want, as long as it's not harming anyone else. And that goes the same for speech. Free speech is one of those things where people say we should have the right to say whatever we want. That's true, you should. But when someone spends their life doing nothing but harming others verbally, how does that reflect on our society? Can we find a way to still have freedom, yet deal properly with the people who don't fit into society? Or do we even have the right to tell a person if they fit in or not? And that's one of those questions that I guess is to the individual. But I think that we're all responsible to allow each other to have the freedoms that we deserve, and at the same time stand up for people when one person's freedom impinges on another's right to live. And the way I see that is people's claim that, this is the way I see our economy, as a it's capitalism in its sense is freedom to make whatever amount of money you want. And I don't think that's right either. I think that we need to think about where that money comes from, who it's harming, because for every gain there is a loss. So if one person makes $10,000, that could come at a loss to someone else, or it could just be for his labor. If a person makes $10 million, there's no amount of labor that's worth $10 million. There's no amount of thinking that's worth $10 million. And someone's getting harmed by that. People making their money in financial district with stocks and bonds while people are losing out, or on the housing market, making money off of the crash or the boom while people suffer. So I think freedom should be the right to do what's right. So in this country where we claim to have all these freedoms, we have to remember that not every freedom that we strive for is going to work out for every single person. Just like laws that are passed for half the people and the other half claim that their rights are being pulled away because the law just impedes their right to do what they want. But if people voted the law in, assuming that the law is valid, there's a lot to be said about that. Each individual has their own perspective on what's important, what life's about, and on what they accept as freedoms. So I just want everybody to remember that freedom is not the right to do anything a person wants. It's the freedom to do the right thing and to speak out when you see something wrong. And that's my opinion. So, namaste.